Hello there, my friends. Amy Friese reporting to you today on the evening of Monday, September the 16th, 2013 for one of the final videos of my Ironman Wisconsin journey. This wraps up the trifecta of the report and video that I'm doing for each of the segments of my Ironman. And I hope that I can share with you not only my own experience, but some tips, some tricks, some secrets, some insider scoop about what to expect for your own Ironman Wisconsin, or maybe you're just curious and wonder why people like me do crazy things like an Ironman. I figured it out, but anyway, okay, I digress. Let me get to the point here. So I got off the bike for the Ironman Wisconsin, which was last Sunday, September the 8th, 2013 at Monona Terrace, Madison, Wisconsin. Get into transition, put all my running gear on. I had a very cute outfit, I must say. I loved my little running shorts and my blue top, and I had these blue sleeves. Kind of felt like Wonder Woman, I'll be totally honest. And then my blue, I was geeking out with blue because it matches my eyes. My visor too, so you come out of transition and you have like this nice little incline, but before you do, you go out, you take a right, and then you take a left for that incline. But I almost literally ran into my friend Phil. That was so awesome to see him. That was the first time I saw him all weekend, and he's from Madison, so he was there doing his own Ironman, so that was super nice to see him. And then we probably went to the bathroom. In separate porta potties, of course, and then chatted it a bit more and went up that hill, and I just decided to jog it up that nice little incline. Dave, my coach, reminded me to take it easy up that hill because it'll catch ya after your hip flexors have been used to the point of exhaustion on the bike. And so I just took it super easy, super easy. And then you weave your way through downtown Madison around the Capitol. Thankfully, there are lots of aid stations, I would say about every mile, and that was fantastic. But I realized that I was missing something. About a half a mile into the run, I thought, how am I going to know when to walk? Because, as you know, or maybe you don't, I've been using a walk-run approach. I didn't wear my watch. I totally didn't wear my watch. It's not that I forgot to wear my watch. I did forget to brush my teeth on Ironman morning, which was very interesting. But I decided not to wear my watch, especially on the swim because I can't see it, and on the bike because I have it on my odometer on my computer. But then I just decided just not to not to be concerned so much about the time for the run, forgetting that I needed the timer on my watch. So I thought, screw it! There's going to be an aid station about every mile. Can't do anything about it now. And so then I decided, well, it's actually kind of liberating. So I walked when I needed to walk. I ran when I wanted to run. And that's kind of how it worked. But my goal was to run to each aid station and then walk through the station, eat or drink whatever it was that I had, and then just keep going, and then pick up my running again. And so that's what I did. Near the end, I walked a little bit more than I did it the first time, but that's okay. So much like the run, I took the first loop easy. So there are 2 loops for the marathon section of an Ironman in Madison. And it's actually kind of a tease because they literally take you like hundreds of feet away from the finish line. So like everyone's coming, you're going, and then the finishers go, woo, through the chute, and then you go, ah, suckers, and you keep running. I call it character building. You know, if you want to finish, you got to do the second loop. So, but anyway, so I was running, and I had my, I want to say 2 or 3 gels, and I had my Lar Bar on my tri shorts, which are my favorite shorts to run in ever, and I didn't have any water with me because I was relying on the aid stations, and I knew that they had water, Ironman Perform, which I had been obviously training on. They had chicken broth, which I will get to, bananas, pretzels, cookies, goos gels, goo gel, chomps, which were very delicious, and bonk breakers, potato chips, some other stuff too. I don't eat gluten, so I opted not for the cookies or the pretzels, although those cookies looked really good. Even the volunteer stations even had pizza brought in. And I was like, that is just wrong, unfair. I would have eaten a piece of pizza at that point, but I didn't think it would make any advantageous points to my run. So, but I did get into I drank some water, and I think actually I had some fruit juice at the first aid state, or in transition. But I made sure that I started with water and then gel. And I felt really anxious and like to eat, like I felt like I needed to eat. Not because I was really hungry. A lot of times as athletes and as human beings, we confuse hunger with thirst. And I was really thirsty because when you're on the bike, and it was an overcast day that day, we were still sweating a lot, but I don't think I realized how much sweat I was losing until I got on the run and I was really thirsty. So then I started eating, like I had my Larabar, I had a gel, some water before. I was alternating water stops with those, and I wouldn't, they, like, you have the big cups, but they're probably only about halfway full, so I was drinking maybe about half some of that, and I would sometimes pour the water on me. But after about 6 or 7 miles, started feeling a little gassy. Started feeling a little bubbly and gassy, like something wasn't moving, but it needed to, but my stomach was starting to get a little upset, so I was like, okay, digestion is not catching up with intake. So then I decided to ease back on the chewing, swallowing food, and then I just focused on some water, took some broth every now and again, because by the time I was on the run, I want to say it was around 5-ish, and I didn't want to start having too much broth. I don't know, it just seemed like a dinner sort of thing to me, so that got stuck in my head. But after, skipping and not eating any food for about 3 or 4 aid stations, which was about 40 to 50 minutes, things started working. And I can tell you this, our secret, right? I was like walking and tooting, and then walking and tooting, and then walking and then tooting. And while it felt really good, I was really hoping that nobody heard it, and definitely hoping nobody could smell anything. Because it just had to happen. Because I was thinking, if my body can't digest this food, that's going to be a problem. So I took a couple, maybe 1 or 2 more potty stops just to see if I could get some things moving. I had no problem going to the bathroom, which was thankful. And I'll be honest with you, my friends, when you're doing an endurance event, and remember, we started this at 7 a.m. and it's about 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. by that point. That's 12 hours of pretty perpetual nonstop moving, aside from sitting to go to the bathroom or sitting in transition, or sitting on your bike doesn't count, okay? So I was very happy that gurgling settled down. And then ate some bananas, like little pieces of banana, which was really nice. And then the warm chicken broth happened. And I'm a firm believer of sticking to your plan when it comes especially to nutrition and to hydration. However, listening to your body. And my body said, listen, lady, we need that chicken broth. That chicken broth offered lots of electrolytes, and what the electrolytes do is it takes the water and takes the hydration and moves it out of your bloodstream and into your muscles. So that helps with cramping, that helps with the seizing up of muscles, that helps with digestion, it helps with blood pressure, because you have to have the right amount of hydration and the right amount of electrolytes for your blood pressure to be stabilized. So my body said, we need to drink that. And I said, okay, we'll drink that. Sometimes I would just take a sip. Sometimes I drink the whole thing and take my time. So the main theme for the run was finish, but take it easy. And I've mentioned this before, this is my first Ironman, so it was kind of a dress rehearsal in my mind. Of course I wanted to finish, of course I wanted to do well, but I had no idea what to expect, so I didn't want to push it and race through and rush past everything. So choosing not to bring my watch, but forgetting about the timing thing was actually a very big blessing in disguise, and it was incredibly liberating. So I'm glad I did that. I was very glad I did that. The first half of the run, went fantastic. Felt great, aside from the gurgling. My feet felt good, my knees felt good, My quad started to get a little tired and I got a little tightness in the hips, but nothing to be too terribly upset about. Talked to some really nice people. I smiled as much as I could. Sometimes I had to work at it, but most of the time it was really easy because at that point, as soon as I got on that run course, I knew absolutely, certainly that I would finish that race. And I had more than 7 hours to do it, so I was very, very happy. Got to the turnaround point, and those numbers that said 18 and 20 and 22 and 25 or 24, whatever the mile markers were, the first time I saw them were now a reality, because on that second loop, that's what happens, right? You've already done 13 miles, so everything you've seen, then the second mile markers come into account. So the first time I ran through Camp Randall, which is very cool. So that's where the Badgers, the Wisconsin Badgers play. And it was so cool to be on the field, because I've been to games before and yeah, you're like down in the midst of it. But it felt funny running on it, like dum dum, like it was super, super bouncy. So the second time I decided to walk it, I had a really nice conversation with a woman, and it was quiet and dark by that point. And so it was kind of eerie, but kind of cool. And we just decided both as we were chatting to like let it all soak in. So that was very cool. I will tell you though, both times on Observatory Hill, I walked up and down. Why rush? Maybe next time I'll run up the hill and I'll walk down it. I don't know, but that's a pretty steep hill. I mean, that would feel it, you'd feel that biking up it. But it was a beautiful view. The run goes down by the lake. That was gorgeous. A little scary at night because it was dark. There were a few lights out there, but I still felt safe knowing that people were around. So I never was fearful that much, but it was a little, you know, as a woman walking outside at dark. I mean, I'm always aware. I guess we always should be aware. So just keeping that keen sense. But I found myself running more than I thought I would, so I tried to keep the ratio of running higher than the ratio of walking. Saw lots of friends. Jody was there quite frequently, as was Dave. Cindy ran with me for a bit, so that was fantastic. Had a surprise visit from one of my friends and clients, Matt, so that was really nice to see him. I saw Sandy and Travis, and they're the ones that actually got me to my very, 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 very first triathlon. So that was a little emotional seeing them. But coming near the end, like I knew it was coming. After Camp Randall, or actually no, Camp Randall you go in on the way out, but on the way back I was like, through State Street. Yep, I knew. I was telling Dave at our wrap-up meeting that there was a stretch, a very long stretch, that I was walking the very end of it, but I knew after that point that I would not walk from there on out, that I would just run. And that's what I did from State Street on. You get to the Capitol Square and the people just, their energy takes you over, and you can't help but smile, and you can't help but go unless you're in agonizing pain, which I'm sure a lot of people were, or you're qualifying for Kona and you just don't want to use that extra energy. But I relished and soaked up every single moment of it, and it was fantastic finishing. It was absolutely fantastic. There really honestly wasn't anything that I would finish. I do have to tell you though that I was coached, coach is a hard word, advised by lots of people who've done Ironman before to make sure that there was very few people in front or behind for finishers pictures, and I had to figure out, you know, what am I going to look like when I finish? Does it make me vain? I don't know, but I like to look good when I'm coming through the finisher chute. So I flew those arms up overhead and made it. And, you know, I didn't even actually hear the words, Amy Friese, you're an Ironman, because I was too busy smiling. So it was such a great race. In finishing, I could still stand. I still felt fine. My muscles were sore, don't get me wrong. But I felt a lot worse after other races. So I will take that as a good cue. I'll definitely take that as a good cue. So keeping those feet moving during the run definitely helped out. Keeping hydrated, alternating water and perform definitely helped out. The bananas were fantastic. The broth was awesome. Listening to my body when my knee started getting sore, my right knee, then I would just ease up. When my quad got a little tight, then I just eased up. I did take, oh, I forgot to mention this. I did take ibuprofen at mile 20 because I could start to feel things really getting sore. And I knew that it would help. I've tried that before, and I was leery about doing it during the race. I kind of felt like I was cheating almost in a way because it's supposed to hurt. But then I was like, oh my God, I really don't want it to hurt that bad. So I did take those at 20, and I'm glad I did because it helped with inflammation. But all in all, it was a great race. I'm really looking forward to my next one. I'm taking 2014 off though. Maybe I'll do a half Ironman more than likely. 2015, watch out, here it comes. So, but that's it for the wrap up of the run, my friends, of Ironman Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin. And if you want to know a little bit more, maybe some more mental prep about how I got through the swim, the bike, and the run, I would love to share that with you. We could also talk nutrition. So give me a holla on Facebook or Twitter, Amy Friese, AMYFRIESE, or you can shoot me an email at fearlessnutritionllc@gmail.com, or lastly, you can check out my website, which is fearlessnutritionllc.com. Heck, you can even call me on the phone if you want to at 414-312-7076. That is my office number. So look forward to hearing from you, my friends. I hope that your journey is as exciting and scary as mine was, because it was definitely worth it all. I wouldn't change a thing. Not a thing. And I hope you have fun. So until we meet again, I double dog dare you and challenge you to eat smart, move strong, and live fearless. Run like someone's chasing you, but have a good time and don't get caught. All right, we'll talk to you again, my friends. Take care. Amy Friese checking out. Bye-bye.